right
I know.
there. Hey, do you like the potty shit more or the plug talk shit more?
Oh, they speak to very different parts of my personality because on one hand, doing sometimes when I just got to fuck a couple girls throughout the day, I'm like, man, this is the best. This is like, this is all I want to do. And then like, I don't know, podcasting feels like more work, but it's also like more satisfying intellectually and creatively. Whereas fucking on camera is just like, you're just being an animal. You're just doing something that like literally everybody does. You're doing it on camera. So, I mean, I feel like I obsess over No Jumper and think about it all the fucking time. And whereas the porn thing, it's like I'm just not really thinking about it that much. I'm not like thinking about how to make that business better, which sometimes I feel bad about that. But to me, like No Jumper speaks to me a lot more and I spend a lot more of my time on it.
When you gave your wife the keys to go get fucked, where did that thought come from?
It was basically like, this would be the most viral thing that we could do. Like to put it in perspective, I was trying to buy posts at a certain point off like, Shade Room and fucking Spiritual Word or whatever, just promoting Plug Talk. And they wouldn't take our money because they feel like if they post anything super sexual that it might get them fucked up on Instagram. And then once we did that one scene, every single page, all these pages that wouldn't take my money before are posting about us nonstop for free because we did like the one thing that was so shocking to people that they couldn't help but pay attention. So for me, honestly, it was like a pretty easy decision in that sense because I just genuinely didn't care. Like it just didn't feel like a big deal by that point. I just know so many couples in porn that are able to, coexist with doing that kind of content or whatever. So it was a little challenging and I definitely wasn't ready for the scale of the blowback that it got. But I mean, as a business person, it seemed like a pretty easy decision.
Were y'all swingers before that?
Nah, and we are not currently. Like we only do it for content. Which I've always like looked at the swinger world. Like I know a guy who him and his girl go to swinger parties. He hit me up recently, being like, "Yo, if you and your girl ever want to go, whatever," and I was just like, "Nah, like I don't."
That's a thinly veiled way of saying.
What's the difference?
I seen that.
Because one, you're doing it on camera to make money, and one, you're just going to some club and just hooking up with random people. Which I can see why it would be fun, but it's definitely not like my ideal Friday night.
He just said, "But
this is my ideal Friday night, apparently."
But you didn't really need the money. And it's like the average person, like, hell no, I ain't letting my wife do that. When I seen that, I said, "Cut, don't give a fuck about nothing." At that point, y'all just got that type of relationship where like y'all more friends, and it's like you can go, even though I fuck other bitches, but you can go fuck other men.
I mean, I wouldn't say we have like the friend kind of relationship that would make it easy to do that. Honestly, it's just like, I don't know. It just didn't really feel like that big a deal. And especially in comparison, like you're saying, like you got enough money. Me and her don't look at shit like that. Like, we're super cheap, both of us. And I think we both have like a vision for our lives where we're going to be able to have a bunch of kids and at some point not give a fuck about any of this shit. Now, I think I'll probably always be a content creator at the very least. Like, but I mean, with her, like she's into gardening, she's into cooking, she's into being a mom, etc. So like when she puts on her fucking Batman uniform and just goes and fucks Jason Luv or whatever, it's just like, that's just like, it's just business for us. So it's like, I don't know.
How are you planning on dealing with the blowback of your kids having to deal with that? Because we in the era of the kids at school bringing up the mom's pornos in class and sending them in the group chats with the kids. Have you thought about that or you ain't thought that?
No, I've definitely thought about it. I just feel like, she's going to have to deal with it at some point. I'm
going to
make her tough enough to understand like, hey, people at some point are going to give you a hard time about this shit. And here's what you got to say, or here's how you're going to deal with it. And I'm sure there's going to be a time where somebody says something that hurts her feelings, just like I'm sure Kim Kardashian probably has to have that conversation with her kids. Now, granted, it's different. Fucking Ray J, fucking Jason Luv is what it is. But I don't know. Huh?
Race and love.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I feel like
I just don't give a fuck. Just make some money.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about the bread, and like it's like she can thank the fact that she goes to a nice private school and shit for the fact that
Isn't there a lot of kids whose parents are on OnlyFans right now too? You think?
I feel like it's going to be increasingly like so common.
Yeah,
it's a rise in kids suicides connected to their parents doing online content.
I didn't know that.
I heard of that.
That's crazy.
And even regular parents, I mean, the kids still got to deal with it, but his face is way more well known than just the average motherfucker.
But that's also me now, and I feel like realistically, me and her might not even be like anywhere near this shit. And like 8 years or 6 years or whenever she starts to be like cognizant of that stuff. So that's another part of why I don't worry about it. But honestly, like I know dudes who have podcasts like outside of hip hop who have to deal with this at a certain point where they have this like existential crisis of like, oh my God, I do this sort of crass, rude, whatever content, and we tell dirty jokes on the podcast, and they start feeling, I feel like Howard Stern's almost like an example of that, where like, you know,
look at what a square he is now.
He became a total hoe. For
Christ.
me, it's like I make adult content, even No Jumper. It's like we're smoking and we're swearing and we're talking about violence and we're talking about crazy shit on camera. It's adult content. So I will probably be having a little bit, like my kid already like understands that she's not allowed to click on the fucking No Jumper thumbnail on the TV, you know, because this is what dad does on cameras. Grown up stuff, but I mean,
you know, outside the house, they're gonna do whatever the fuck they want, and you can't.
We're just trying to slow it down so that she can have a childhood and not have to be rushed into anything.
To me, like you see societies like progress and is way more open minded to that kind of shit. I remember being in high school, and there's a lot of the high school I went to. There's a lot of kids of actors and actresses, and it was like Goldie Hawn's kid went to the school. It was like, oh, we seen your mom's tits, da, 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 da. But it wasn't like at that time that was a huge deal. I feel like right now. Not a big deal. We've all
and that's just a big deal. Listen, you go to school in the group chat, your mom is getting fucked. That's a big deal, bro. It's not a big deal to you because you doing it, but if you're the kid at school, that's a big deal.
We're about as far along that path as possible too. Like, oh, here, look at this clip of you, your dad, and another dude both nutting on your mom's face.
Yeah, that's
a conversation. That's definitely a conversation.
That's down there Sodom and Gomorrah type shit.
That's more than Goldie Hawn's shits, I'll tell you that.
For sure. But I mean, also like my kid, like, you know, she's got tons of our friends are in the adult industry. She knows them. My kid knows fucking Sky Bree. She talks about Sky Bree's hair. Sky Bree has such nice hair. She talks about Riley Reid like she's a normal fucking person. You know, it's like.
And when I saw Riley Reid pull up, I was like, wait a second. You feel me? Yeah.
I was just curious about that because I think ramifications like that don't hit until it hits. Like in our head, we might make up this scenario. Oh, it's cool, till your daughter is or your son is really talking about offing themselves because the kid suicide rate is crazy. Like I got a lot of friends who their kids was already talking about suicide at young ages, or they knew a friend who already killed themselves in like elementary school just behind getting talked about on Instagram or
To be
Facebook.
fair, I might want to kill myself too if I grew up in Long Beach. But anyway.
Hey, hold on, because we can squabble. Hey, we can really squabble. Like, we ain't suspect. And I heard you was taking classes from Ruckus.
I told him I would go to jiu-jitsu class. When I was supposed to go to MMA gym with 4 Extra, I was actually supposed to go to a MMA gym out here with Rampage and 4 Extra, and then it got canceled at the last minute. And I have to assume it's over some gangster shit. Is
that right? So is that fight gonna get set up when 4 Extra get out? The MMA fight, is that still on?
Now, did you see that dude SD that he was supposed to fight? He got knocked out last UFC or whatever. But definitely, we're working on what 4 Extra's fight is going to be.
Because I think at this point he has to fight.
Yeah.
I don't want to see
is it Aaron the Plumber?
That would be.
I think that's like
that would be goated. I would love to.
I seen that video of him too. He was telling you if he get on the car, you got to squabble. Who you say he got to squabble? Was it Rooster or something?
Rooster. Ruga. Yeah, but he was calling him
He's calling him Rooster.
Yeah.
You go squabble up? When are you gonna get on the card if Aaron get on the card?
There's like a tiny part of me that wants to do it just for the insanity of it. But then also I feel like people are going to use it against me to try to like, oh, you fought this dude on camera. Why can't you fight?
Now you're in the mix with it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. There's part of me that's just like, no, you're good. Don't do it. And then there's part of me that's like, fuck it.
You got limits. You done did everything else under the sun.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know. But the dudes don't even get paid that much for that shit.
What if Brandon could be? If Brandon was the trainer, then maybe now we're talking.
At one point, somebody was talking to me about me fighting Jason Luv, and they were talking the right amount of money to.
Is that real beef or is that like some for the content? Yeah, y'all cool, huh?
Yeah, we cool.
So like all of her on the beach on vacation, all that's made up content.
That's all. Like,
I already knew.
That's all. Like one day in Miami that she was like in Miami on a content trip, and she just met up with them. Like people don't know because like she has all these like stupid reels on her Instagram or whatever. She'll book a day where she shoots like 40 reels in a day, and she has like a team that helps her put them together. So all that shit is just whatever. It's all just promotion.
Has any of them stars tried to shake you down? Because that's what's pretty much going on right now, like with the Shannon Sharp shit.
No, that shit's
like all these millionaires is getting shook down by the OnlyFans bitches. Right
I mean,
now.
they sign contracts. They fucking sign all this paperwork. They get tested. There's a cameraman in the room. I'm never fucking a girl without a cameraman in the room. So it would be pretty tough to get on me about some shit, given that like we run our operation so properly. But, I know a lot of dudes in the industry and shit who are just fucking random girls and they're doing hella drugs with them and stuff. And I look at it and I'm just like, man, like that shit could go bad so easy.